Masevski. I come from Macedonia. I finished my bachelor's in Macedonia. I studied in the Faculty of Philosophy, in the Department of Security, Peace and Defense Studies, branch Peace and Development.
On the University of Cyril and Methodius in
Yes, Cyril
Skopje,
and Methodius.
right?
Yeah, I did 1 year on Erasmus in Czech Republic, and after that I did an internship in India.
Where?
And,
In which cities? In Czech Republic?
I was in Brno,
Brno.
in Masaryk University.
Uh-huh.
There were a lot of Polish people there as well.
And in India? Not
And in
so
India,
much
I
Polish
was
people,
in
I guess.
no, at all. I was in New Delhi. And after that, I did another internship in Malaysia, couple of youth exchanges, and yeah, that was it. I was home. I live with my parents, who come from it's a military background. My father was a military officer. He's now retired. My mom,
I mean, during the Yugoslavian
yes, and
time?
after he
Also in Macedonia.
in
that's
Macedonian army.
independence.
Yes, my brother is now also in the military. He's older than me. He's also a military officer, and my mom is working as a cleaning lady.
Alright, perfect. Okay. So it seems like you like those kind of project life. Like you had some experience before your EVS, right? So
Yeah, once I started with this, it was just like, okay, I want to keep on going, but then it was a matter of fact that I want something longer, not just 2 weeks, and then you get friends, but then you have to say goodbye in 2 weeks, and feeling that you don't actually learn a lot. It's just more about making friends and then leaving them for
it's a project, but still a more touristic way. when
yeah,
you are
yeah, much more touristic. Yeah.
So EVS give you opportunity to stay for a longer period of time.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but why you decide to take part in EVS? We know more or less. But why in Poland? Why in Miliczu particularly, Bojan?
In Macedonia, there are not a lot of sending organizations and not a lot of EVS opportunities. So I was back in Macedonia with no job or anything, and the first 3 EVS opportunities that I saw were in Turkey, near Mersin, I think. In Romania, was in I think it was a student city, I forgot the name, and then this one in Miliczu. The other 2 were closer to me, and I don't like quite being close enough so that I can go home and visit. I like that space of freedom, and also they were shorter, and I wanted as long as possible, and the longest is 12 months, so Miliczu was the...
I see. Good reason. I hope that you will say do you love Poland or something, and that you get some friendships during your Erasmus in Czech Republic, and because of that you really like Polish people.
I did get a lot of friends from Poland, but it was not the decisive factor to choose the CVS. I mean, I knew that none of them live near Miliczu,
Yeah.
so it's...
Doesn't matter. It's
Yeah, it
somewhere in
doesn't
town.
matter. So while I was here, I managed to visit some of them, to meet again with some of them, but it was not a factor to come here.
All right. What about the weather in Miliczu? A lot of people complain from south part of Europe.
I mean, it's... Yeah, of course they complain, but even people here, we talked, they said that this year was not that good in terms of sunny days, for example. But again, the winter was not that cold,
True.
as some people here would say. But it was not that cold, because not even at one point I felt like, oh, this is too cold for me. I was going to work on
There was not so much snow or so.
yeah,
right?
it was not a
quite
lot
good.
of snow. I could go still on my bike to work, so it was pretty much okay. Yes, it was dark and depressing because the sun was not around that much, but
True.
it happens. So for me, it was, yeah, there were parts when I wished the sun could show up more often, days, weeks, but yeah, we get what we get. I've been in India while there was a monsoon season, so there was no sun at all. It was just rain all day, every day, and heavy rain. So
So could be worse.
yeah,
than in
could be
Miliczu.
worse. We don't get monsoons here.
Hard to see.
Yeah.
Hard to believe. Okay, and what did you do in your host organization here?
So I worked in Liceum. I cannot even pronounce the name, it's too long. But that's a high school, so I was working as an English teacher and a physical education teacher. And in the beginning, I was also doing some office work in
You were in a
Świetlica.
Zielone Liceum imienia Armii Krajowej.
Yes,
That's
yes.
the name, right?
So I was also in the beginning doing some office work in Secretariat and Świetlica.
All right.
But because of my lack of Polish skills, I couldn't handle
Be
paperwork
very
or
helpful
be very
there.
helpful. So I asked for this to be removed out of my work.
Schedule. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you start to be in the classes, right?
Yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah, mostly.
Doing what kind of?
So with the English lessons, depending on the class, I had lessons with classes who were about to graduate with teacher Nowacka, and she gave me full freedom to do whatever I want. I guess she believed in
You
me.
mean in the frames of program?
Yes, of course. Yeah, but mainly to do my own exercises, conversational lessons, even some mini quiz or writing exercises. So anything that I saw that could be useful for these students to upgrade their level of English and their confidence to speak, at least. But then on the other lessons with the classes who are first and second year in this high school, I was just following the curriculum. So from the book I would do the exercises, listening, writing part.
And do you think, what do you think about the improvement? They really were able, thanks for your presence there, to develop the English?
Yeah, I think so. Everyone was curious about me. I'm the first foreign teacher that they had. I mean, they've had volunteers before coming in, but that would be just for one day. So they would see me every day. Every day they could say, hello, how are you? And then
So distance between you and them was shorter.
Yeah,
usually,
shorter.
right?
And then when the school year finished, or when I would see them outside of school, they speak much more, and then I can see that they really improved. Even though if they were shy in the classroom, they could speak much more outside.
So your presence here as EVS volunteers have great sense.
I think so.
All right,
Yes.
great. Also was a part of your additional activity, your own ideas, right? Could you say us a bit more about it?
Yes. So the idea came to me from what I've done in Czech Republic. There were these popular pub quizzes there, and the winning team would get some prize. So I thought I could test that first on my students
In the classes?
in the classroom to see. So I divided them in a group with the help of Fundacja, which gave the prize cake for the winning team.
And also books, if I
And,
remember correctly. The English books.
That was for the last quiz.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. At the end.
But for the
Okay.
first quiz it was this,
I
and
see.
it went well. And I asked them, would you be interested in this kind of quiz if it happened in somewhere outside of school? And yes, some of them joined in the quizzes that I organized in Fama.
Pub near like.
Yeah, in the pub here in Miliczu. Yeah.
So we start talking about your life besides your basic volunteer activity. What else did you do here during this free time? What kind of?
Now that I can recall back my memory, when I arrived, we had an agreement with the volunteers who lived in our house to make a running club, which didn't work out because we didn't spend time doing sports that much, so our stamina was not very high. But we did watch a lot of movies in the beginning, so we kind of bonded with the
But you had
flatmates.
this free access to swimming pool, and we met there for a couple of times.
Yes,
already,
so
right?
after that I was going quite regularly to the swimming pool, never to the gym. I'm not that kind of person to go to the gym.
Yeah, but Andrea was there, a couple others, right?
Yeah,
All others, okay.
but I like the swimming pool, and then I was traveling. I think the first half of the EVS I was traveling alone. Only once I was with Andrea.
Where have you been? In which cities, countries?
So,
more?
I went to Slovakia, Czech Republic. I went to Germany. I went to Denmark, Sweden, Lithuania. That was in the first half, and then I went to Israel, Belgium, and the Netherlands.
Right.
So apart from that, I started writing my blog here, and yeah, lately now, because we've become kind of more lazy to do anything, playing computer games, and also we played a couple of games with my students from the high school. We played football with them, so that was also good.
Maybe there was not the best idea, because at the end of your EVS you twisted ankle, and we have some suspicions that maybe it was also because of your overreacted during this kind of games before. Could be. All right. Could you tell today that you learned something particular during this time? Did you realize any personal development during this year?
Yeah,
here?
there's always the learning process within myself. So I learned things about myself. What don't I like? What I like more? What I am good at? What I'm not very good at? So yeah, even though I've been to places, every time you go to a different place you learn something more about the place, about the people, about the differences, about the similarities. So it's always a learning experience wherever I go.
Alright. Could you be a bit more specific? Like, do you have any particular situation with
for
other-
example, here I learned that very small children are not really what I like to work with.
Alright.
They have too much energy for me, a lack of ability to concentrate, and I don't like to shout over to get their attention, or to make myself a clown so that they would feel, oh yeah, and I can listen to him. No, I prefer people who already know that learning is
needed for them. simply.
needed, and they value their time and my time also.
But generally speaking, you had quite good relation with this your pupils in high school, right?
Yeah.
I've seen many times that they really enjoy the like contacts with you, and after that even they took part in some parties in EVS flat,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
So-
yes. They've been
So you
always-
established some maybe friendship even, right?
Yeah,
with them, right?
yeah. I
At
no
least.
longer see them as students. They've been invited to the barbecues that we organized, so they've appeared. I've been to their birthdays, so it's now more of a equal friendship level than a
Partnership,
teacher-student.
Very general question. How you will remember your EVS in Poland? As a life-changing experience, interesting time, waste of your time maybe?
Oh, it's definitely not waste of my time. It's an interesting time spent here. I hope life-changing. That could only be seen in the future, I think, not
sure.
right now. But it was definitely interesting.
What was your biggest success of your project, in your opinion?
Success. I guess
It doesn't need to be a particular event or something.
I
It
know,
can
I
be
know.
process.
I
or
would guess I have
your
like
skills.
3 things in mind. The relations I had with the other volunteers. I think I maintained.
You mean your flatmates or
yes, and
other
the
volunteers?
rest
Yes.
and the rest of the volunteers. I think I maintained a good relation with all of them. Then the relations I had in the workplace with the students and the teachers, and the quiz that I organized. So those would be my greatest success.
All right. And on the other side, the biggest failure on your during this project?
Biggest failure, I guess the fact that I didn't manage to organize any activity in the swimming pool, and I said I would, so I know I failed there. And maybe the confrontation that happened in the English lesson in the office, that kind of it didn't resolve in a positive way, so that would be the failure.
Are you satisfied with your collaboration with your mentor, Bojan?
Agatha being my mentor,
True.
and then I'm very satisfied. She was always there. She could, and she even now, in her future, because she's going to India, she said, if you need anything, please contact me about anything, if I can help you in any way. So I'm very satisfied with her.
Could you say something more about your flatmates? How was it, this relationship?
I had great relationships with Luis. I think the best relation.
Spanish volunteer.
Yes,
right?
Spanish volunteer. I think I had the best one because he was there when I arrived. He showed me around, and then for the first couple of weeks we would cook together. We would share food. We'd spend some time hanging out, drinking, talking. It was talking more about like more deeper conversation rather than what's going on here. So we would not talk about gossips. We would talk about the political situation in Spain, for example, if he read something in the news, because he was a journalist by occupation. So for him it was interesting. So he was also interested in political situation in Macedonia.
And you are a philosopher, so you are interested in
yeah,
history of
so
Polish.
with Christina, the Hungarian volunteer, I also had a good time, good relation in the beginning. I have to say that after her involvement with other volunteers, she became a bit distant.
Well, when you mean when she starts her relationship, right?
Yes, exactly.
With somebody. Okay.
Yeah.
But
So-
it's a life,
Yeah,
right?
it's normal, so it's nothing special.
Okay. Generally, you consider this time, how you organize your life during the EVS, as a successful time, and
Yeah.
you're happy about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. After EVS, I will.
I will go home.
Okay, that's for sure. And then?
Yeah, after EVS, I'm hoping to find another teaching position. I've grown fond of teaching. Middle school to high school is fine. Like I said,
Not primary school.
primary
rather.
school is
Not
it's
your
going to be-
favorite place.
yeah, I would accept, but it's going to be harder for me and for the children, I guess. I would not be as positive and as involved as I would be with high school. So I applied for some teacher's position.
But in Macedonia
No,
or
abroad.
abroad?
So I'm still waiting for a Skype interview.
May I ask where, in which area you worked?
I applied in China
Okay.
because English teachers are quite on demand there. That's one of the places.
Where, in capital city or?
There are multiple locations offered, so
All right. So you don't know exactly where you put
where I will be placed,
Okay.
because they do interviews and then
Then they decide and they offer you something,
Yeah,
right? I
exactly.
see. Okay. China is a main destination.
yes,
First?
also India
Mhm.
as a school debate counselor.
Which means like you are.
Actually, it's not for a school, it's an NGO called Verbatul, which organizes debate competitions for students. And I would be there as a mentor for the students, how to prepare themselves better, and to inspire critical thinking and research for these debates, because the winner of these debates gets some financial support for his
Sounds
studies.
like perfect position for you, especially after these quizzes which you mentioned. I had the opportunity to see you in action, and I have to admit that you're in good on this place, like between the amongst the teams, which you have to decide who is the winner and suggest them some things. Yeah, so great. I wish you luck. Suggestions or comments for future generation of EVS volunteers here in Poland or in Miliczu particular?
I would say that they should take the initiative, not to wait for things to happen, but make things happen themselves. Because we could wait here for a long time for things, and then time passes really fast here. We would wait for, I don't know, if I was waiting for anything to happen, it would not happen. The quiz, if I wanted to have a quiz, and who would make this thing? So you're the ones, and especially if you combine your mind power, let's say, so two of them or three of them thinking together.
The moment when you take the first step, then you can get the support.
Yeah.
But sometimes not, but quite often you are able to find the people who will able to.
Because we could rarely here do brainstorming on certain events. It was only for the treasure hunt, I believe, that we had brainstorming about how it should be, but that was it.
About Euro Day, but it was unsuccessful at the end.
Yeah.
Right? We had this conversation.
Yeah.
Also, right?
So for them to take initiative to explore Poland, and it doesn't have to be these famous touristic places. It can be just around Miliczu. We had the luck with Michal to take us to these nice places around Miliczu that only locals.
He has a car, so but also they can use the bikes.
They can use their bikes.
As you mentioned before, right?
Yeah.
All right. So good luck in your future, Bojan.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you. Bye.